looking at booklet B of practice 2. So first question, express 5.9 as a decimal. Okay, so in this case, because the bottom part is actually quite difficult to make it into 10, 100, thousands or 10,000s, we will just go ahead and do long division. So in long division, just make sure that you know what goes outside and what goes inside. Alright, so as you know that the first one, because definitely, you know, there's not enough, okay? 5 cannot be divided by 9, so therefore we put a 0 and we add a decimal place here. Then we can go ahead and add a 0 here, and this becomes 50. So 5 times 9 is 45, becomes a 5, alright? And then after that, the same thing happens. We go ahead and put a 0. Answer is 5, 45. Sorry. And again, the same thing happens. Now, you will notice that we will only need to do until 3 decimal places because it says corrected to 2 decimal place. So when rounding off, we always look at the number before the intended decimal place that we want to round off to. So 0.555, if you look at it, we want to round off to 2 decimal places, which is this particular 5 here. We always look at the number that is in front of it. If it's 5 or more, we'll round up. Alright, so therefore it's 0.56. That will be your answer. Okay, next. In figure E, F, and G are straight lines. So when I see that these two, it signals to me that this could be 2 straight lines and they're intersecting each other, which means that any angles that are opposite, they are actually equal. Okay? So based on this, they say find angle Y. So because this angle here is the same as this angle, I know that this entire angle here is 142 degrees. So therefore, to find angle Y, I will just take 142 degrees minus away 98 degrees, and my answer would be 44 degrees. Okay. Now, when you are solving your questions for angles, please make sure to put in your angle symbol as well as all your degrees, okay, and indicate what you have found out in the diagram. Okay, Siti baked a pizza and gave 1/4 of it to her neighbor. The remaining pizza was shared equally among of her 9 nieces. What fraction of the pizza did each niece get? So the first thing you want to do is, of course, to know how much of the pizza was left. So 1 minus 1/4 is actually 3/4. Now, she needs to split it equally amongst her 9 nieces. So 3/4 divided by 9. We flip the fraction. Simplify it. Okay, and your answer would be 1 times 1 is 1. 4 times 3 is 12. And your answer is 1/12. Each niece will get 1/12 of the pizza. Next, Mina paid $8.95 for 3 mangoes during a sale. She had bought 3 mangoes if she had bought 3 mangoes at the usual price, how much more would she have to pay? So you first need to find out what is the cost of 3 mangoes at the usual price. So that's 540 times 3. And your answer would be $16.20. Then after that, at the sale, she paid only $8.95. So therefore, you will take the original price of 3 mangoes, subtract away the price that she paid. And your answer would be $7.25. Okay. Question, right? It states here that Mr. Ting sold a total of 350 trees in both months. So find the percentage increase or decrease in the number of Christmas trees sold in December. So the first thing is we want to find out what amount did he sell in December. We will take 350 minus away 125. So 350 minus away 125 is actually 225. So 225 is over here. And then we need to find the actual difference. Okay? So the actual difference would be 225 minus away 125. And my answer would be 100. So now that the difference is 100, we take the original as 125 and then we multiply by 100%. So this will give me 80%. Right? Next. Okay. Audrey's house and the library and the cinema, okay, are shown, okay, in the square. Be grid below. In which direction is the library from Audrey's house? Okay. So when we look at it, right, in which directions? So when we take a look at it, Audrey house is here. And it says from Audrey house. So the important thing is to take note of where is your north, your compass. So what we can do is because it's from Audrey house, we are taking reference. So this is north, south, east, west. So the library is actually here. This is actually southwest. So the answer would be southwest. Now, they say then a new hospital will be built in a location northwest of the cinema and southeast of the library. Put a tick in the square grid where the new hospital will be built. So let's take a look. So once again, we have to draw our north, south, east, west. Sorry, wrong. Now south, east, west, correct. Okay. So it says that it is in the northwest. So northwest is actually here. So we can extend the line. Okay. And then after that, it says that it is then southeast of the library. Okay, I'm going to clean up the lines here so that we can see this roughly clearly. So once again, we have to draw our compass, north, south, east, west. They say southeast. Southeast is over here. So therefore, it will be this grid. Okay. Next, 22. Brianna completed a race in 165 seconds. She was 25 seconds faster than Timmy. How long in minutes and seconds did Timmy take to complete the race? So over here, what you need to do is that you need to add all the seconds together first. So 156 plus 29. That will be 194. Okay? So this is actually Timmy's speed. Alright? Because Timmy was slower, so you need to add back the 29. Now this is in seconds. So 194 seconds, you have to convert this into minutes. And that is actually 3 minutes and 14 seconds. Now, ask yourself, you should be dividing this by 60 seconds because every 1 minute is equals to 60 seconds. So 194, when you divide it by 60, you will get 3 minutes and 14 seconds. Next, question 23. Mrs. Lee had some money. She used half of it on a present and 1/7 of it on a book. The present and book cost 81 altogether. How much money had she left? So very simple. The first thing is to, of course, add these two together. Okay, So to do that, we need to make sure that the denominators are made common. So times 7 times 7 times 2 times 2, that will leave us with 7 over 14 plus 2 over 14, 9 over 14, right? So this is what she was used. Okay, so how much had she left? 1 minus 9 over 14, and your answer will be 5 over 14. This is left. So granted that you know that the book costs 81, so you will also know that 9u would be 81, 1u would be 81 divided by 9, and my answer is 9. However, I want to find out what is 5, so 5u would be 9 times 5, my answer would be 45. Answer, $45. Next, 24. Peter poured a total of 240 cm cube of water into 2 empty cubical containers, A and B, until the heights of the water level were the same. Find the height of the water level in each container. Okay? So to do that, alright, what we need to do is that we need to actually add. Okay? What are the various we need to first add what is the base area of each container, right? So for A is actually 4 times 4 plus B, which is 8 times 8, and that will give us 80. After that, we know that the total volume is 240. So granted that the total volume is 240, we can actually take 240 divided by 80. That will give me 3. So this tells me that this is the height of each container, which is at 3. Okay? And they were the same. Okay, Mrs. Tan traveled 3.2 kilometers in a taxi from her airport to her home. The fare was based as the charges below. How much was Mrs. Tan's taxi fare including the airport charge? So what we need to understand is that we need to take up the first kilometer. So 3.2 minus 1 is actually 2.2. So the 2.2, alright, we would be looking at this particular fees, right? We will convert the 2.2 kilometer into meters. We basically multiply that by 1,000. Why? Because this is in meters. Then we will take 2200 divided by 400 because they go by every 400 meters, and that leaves us with 5.5. Okay? Now, there is no such thing as because they will charge you or less, so we need to actually round this amount up to 6. So we assume there are 6 of these 400 meter. So we want to know what's the cost of this. So 6 times 0.30, your answer is $1.80. Okay? Now we have actually gotten 180 over here. Let's talk about the remaining airport charge, which is $3. So to total everything up, you need to add 360, which is here, plus the 180 you have calculated, which is here, and then after that, finally the airport charge, $3, and your answer would be $8.40. Now, when writing money, please remember to give it in 2 decimal places. This is very important. Question 26, complete the symmetrical figure. Now, all you need to know is that they need to be mirror images, okay? So one is over here, and then that's one cube down. Just make sure that okay, check that they are mirror images. Next, okay, Fatin has 4 3-dimensional figures. Arrange A, B, C in according number of faces. Beginning with the solid has the most number of faces. So for this one over here, you just have to count, and the answer would be D, B, A, C. Next, there are 3 girls and some boys. Average number of tickets sold by the pupils was 35. Average numbers of tickets sold by 3 girls was 50. Average number of tickets sold by the boys was 30. How many boys were there in the group? So for this one, the first step was to take the girls. Okay, so the girls actually sold more. So we subtract away 35, this 15. So 15 is basically how much the girls actually earned more. Okay, and then after that, we take 35 minus away the 15. That will give us, we take 35 minus away 30, which is actually what was sold by the boys. So that we know that this 5 is basically what the girls have actually sold more. In that sense, because the average number was actually 35, but the boys only sold 30. Okay, so this 35 number was made possible because of the girls. So, and then the next step would be to add the 15 to the 30 to the boys. So in total, that would be 45. So now we know that it is 45, and the difference that between the girls and the boys is actually 5. We can just take 45 divided by 5, and it would leave us with 9. So there were 9 boys. Okay? Next, the figure below is made of 2 identical rectangles, A, B, C, D, E, and E, F, G that overlap each other. Okay? The area of the unshaded part is 154 cm square. EXCY has an area of 14 cm square. Find the length of AB. So over here, they have indicated that this is 14 cm square. And the unshaded part, which is here, total up is 154 cm square. So the first thing what we can do over here is that we want to find out what is just one part. What is just one part of the unshaded. So that would be 154 divided by 2, and that is 77. So this is 77. Now, this 77, I then want to add back in the 14. So it gives me the entire area of one full rectangle. Okay? So in this case, 77 plus 14, that will give me 91. So granted that this side is 7, all I need to do is take 91 divided by 7, and my answer is 13. Okay, so this has to be 13. Answer 13. Okay, 29. A tank was completely filled with water at 8 a.m. The water flowed out of the tank from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. The line graph shows the amount of water in the tank, okay, from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. At what time was 2/5 of the tank filled with water? So in the first place, okay, we need to know alright, what was the maximum capacity? So the maximum capacity is 80 liters. So what is 2/5? So to do that, we will take 2/5 times 80 and your answer is 32. So if we look at it, 32 is over here. Your answer would be 1 p.m., which is 1300. Alright, final question. In the diagram below, ABCD is a square. Okay, PQ equals to QR equals to SQ. AD is parallel to PR. So AD, and is perpendicular to SQ. So let's put in all these details. So we know that PQ and QR, they are the same. And SQ is also the same. This line over here. AD is parallel to PR. So these two are parallel lines. Okay, find angle SRQ. So it's over here. Okay, so let's take a look at what can we do. So first things first, what we can understand is that this whole thing here is an isosceles, it's an equilateral triangle. So to solve this part, okay, I would actually take 60 divided by 2. Now, where did I get this 60? So granted that this is an equilateral triangle, okay, I actually know that this is 60. So by dividing into 2, I'm able to find this particular angle. Okay, so over here, this particular one, this is 30 degrees. Now, that you actually found that this is 30 degrees, alright, we then need to next find out what is this particular angle over here. So to do that, there is a few ways, okay? We know that since this is the same as this, because they're all isosceles, they are all the same length, what we can do now is we can take 180 degrees minus away the 30 degrees, and then we divide by 2. And my answer will be 75. Because this angle equals to this angle, granted that they are isosceles triangles. Okay, so answer 75.